Boo, 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 boo. What's going on, everybody? It's Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's your boys, Mike and Mish. We're here, the Mike and Mish Show. What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mish? It is Thursday. Not next Thursday, this Thursday. This is where we are.
Did I say that last night? Next Thursday?
I don't know. I don't know if you did, but you know what?
If I did, I feel like a stew nod for sure.
Man, we're going to put you on the list for next week.
Put me on the list. I just made the list.
Good evening, everybody. We have a show tonight, don't we? We have the CEO of BKFC Thailand, Nick Headhunter Chapman, coming on in just a few minutes. And boy, am I excited. I'll tell you what, this dude is a go-getter.
Whoa, look at that. Look at this nice comment. What's up, Susan? What's up, Mason Dixon? What's up, Big Ben? Of course, but look at that. Martina Kroll, she loves us. We love you back. We love you back. You know, we were just talking you up last night there, Martina. We were talking to the champ, Christine Faria. She's very confident about winning her title defense August 27th. We said that we just found out that Martina has a fight coming up. We are not aware of who your opponent is yet or when that fight will be. But I could imagine you go out there and put on a stellar performance and move to 2-0 in that division. And you know what? In a sport so new with, so few fights, 2-0 could get you right in the title talk, man. You'd be very interested against Christine Faria. Faux show. What do you think of that, Mike?
I say, tell us who you're fighting. Yeah, in the DMs. Tell us.
Yeah. Right? Don't tell us in the comments section because you'll get yourself in trouble. But you know how to direct message. Faux show.
I'm so eager to find out. I really want to know so bad. I've been waiting for so long. I feel like it's like as if she hasn't been waiting. But I just can't wait for her to fight again.
October, big name. I have a pretty smart guess of who that name is.
Throw the guess out. Just throw it out.
Dude, I'll just guess it right now. Honestly, God, 100%, guys, we have not been told shit about this fight at all.
We guess.
But I'm guessing it's going to be Rachel Ostovich. You don't have to confirm that. If my guess is right, I will just brag when I'm right. But that's my guess. Who else makes sense, man? There's no other fight that makes sense. So
it's a pretty good one, huh?
I mean, Britain Hart's fighting the girl from Thailand. She's got a fight at 115. Jenny Savage is fighting at 115. Jad Masan Wong is still out. Christine Vickens was very impressive, but she doesn't fall into the big name category. Pearl Gonzalez is gone. Paige is fighting. Segal is fighting. It's Rachel Ostovich. That's my guess. Anyways,
could be right.
With that said, guys, we got Nick Chapman coming up in just a second. And after him, stay tuned because we're going to have Jayme Hinshaw coming on right after him. She's going to be fighting BKFC 28, August 27th in Albuquerque. With that said, let's go ahead. Let's bring in the headhunter himself, the CEO of BKFC Thailand. Huge event coming up. Huge signings happening. This dude's making some moves over on the other side of the world. Can't wait to talk to him. Here he is, Nick Chapman. What is up, man?
How you doing, boys? You all right?
Oh, we're
good morning.
Good. Thank you so much for coming on, man. And look at this background. Holy shit. Look
at that thing. Oh my God. Amazing.
I figured, look, you're going to stream into Thailand. You might as well see something about Thailand rather than just a plain white background. So I've come out where I like to walk, show you guys some of the temples.
I like the way you do things. I really do. I'm always going all out. I got to tell you, I really do love it.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, welcome to the show, Nick. Thank you very much for giving me some of your time. You, sir, are making some gigantic moves and some really big noise over on the other side of the world. But before we get into that, let's talk about you a little bit. You're from London, or you're from England. You're a former professional fighter yourself. Had a pretty good career. What got you over into Thailand, and how'd you end up settling into Thailand and going to work there?
Wow, that's a long story. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've been fighting my whole life. Since I was 5, I was at school getting into fights, and my mum was telling me I shouldn't fight. Anyway, naturally progressed into the professional career. I didn't start till I was 33, MMA, so I started quite late and age quite up with me. I won the UC MMA world title, which was pretty cool. I got old, basically, and started to feel it, like my performance was dropping. So I thought, okay, I need to look at other avenues. And I've done quite well with some companies in the UK, so I sold everything and thought, I'm gonna emigrate. I actually planned to go to Mexico, but I come to see a friend in Pattaya for a week before I went and never left.
We hear that story very often about Thailand. I feel like TJ Chang, when we had him on the show, we asked him the question and he said the same thing. He's like, I came here to visit and have a vacation or a holiday, and 10 years later I haven't left yet.
That's exactly how it works for most of us. Yeah, I mean, this place is just incredible. It's like, you imagine heaven and hell and everything in between. That's Pattaya. But the beauty of hell is that not everything in hell is bad, you know.
Nah, man, I gotta tell you, and actually, our good friend TJ is actually in the comments right now, and he says I still haven't unpacked, is what he says. Yeah, you guys are some characters over there. You're doing really huge things, man. Before we get into BKFC Thailand 3, can you explain to us what BKFC Thailand is to BKFC? Are you guys equals with them? What exactly is BKFC Thailand in conjunction with BKFC?
Okay, I mean, look, Dave Feldman is the man. He's the big boss. We're basically licensed counterparts, so we're just trying to help bolster the brand, do stuff this side of the world, and you know, they're like the pinnacle, they're the top. So as you know, Fanny Palumpi, she's going over to fight for the world title soon. So she won our big Thailand title. The next progressive step is to go to the States. So the States are the top. We're kind of helping over this side of the planet.
You know, we were telling people that, and look at this right here. Chevy Bridges in the comments says, so when can I fight in Thailand? Chevy, we're going to ask these questions because we were down in Tampa talking with some fighters, and Jay Jackson and Ryan Reber, and now Chevy Bridges. All these guys are interested now that you're doing such big things over there and you're signing these humongous names and putting on these awesome cards. People want to venture from here over there and get into the action, as opposed to people from fighters over in Thailand wanting to come over to the States. It's kind of crazy.
Well, that's a really good point. In actual fact, I've been speaking to David Feldman just this morning. I speak to him every day. We've got some massive plans coming up. I can't tell you much at the moment, unfortunately, but I can assure you guys there's going to be ample opportunities to be coming to Thailand. We're going to bring something off the charts to BKFC very soon.
Just a little nugget, just a tiny little nugget of something.
Not about Dave Feldman shooting me. No, I don't think I can at the moment. It's in the process, guys. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll speak to Dave once we're ready to announce. I'll let you guys know, and I'll come on and I'll give you the announcement.
Hell yeah,
that's
How's
right.
That's
my man right there. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about, before we get into BKFC Thailand 3, dude. How in the fuck did you pull off Boykau and Sanchai? How did you do it? Like, those are the two, like, honest to God, guys that are watching the show. If you don't know who these two are, just go on YouTube and type their names in, and they are they are considered 1A and 1B greatest Muay Thai fighters of all time. The records on these guys are absolutely fucking insane. How'd you pull it off?
Mate, honestly, look, when I started this, my plan was always to have both those guys on the cards. And I just will not stop until I've achieved my goal. I will spend 24 hours a day grafting, working every single angle, exploring every single network. Anything I have to do to get what I want, I will do. Honestly, it was not easy. There's a lot of politics wrapped around these two. People have tried in the past to sign one of these guys, and organizations, even the biggest in the world, haven't even managed to sign one. We got both in the same week. But okay, in Thailand, it's a lot about who you know. Okay, we've got the right people on board with Singhar Corporation now. I mean, they've just been incredible. When you've got them on board, it's like an elite ecosystem in Thailand, and things can start happening. But Sanchai was a different kettle of fish. There's other politics around him, which was a tough nut to crack. But all I can say is that I've had a lot of help, and we've done it. But here's the really big news. Like, Boykau and Sanchai is big. But what I've got coming up is bigger than Boykau or Sanchai. But you're going to have to wait and see.
Wow.
Trust me. It's bigger than both of them.
That's if it's bigger than both of them, then it's fucking massive. Hey, people in the comment section are asking, behind you, that's a temple, right?
Yes, sorry guys, I can't see the question. So yeah, so this is Wat Hoi. So I live in a place called Hoi, and the temples are called Wats. This is one of the best known in the country. The king used to come here, I think, many years ago. It's huge. This is only one side of it. It's just beautiful. Every single piece of the mosaics is put on by hand, and it's all tiny little pieces to make this beautiful structures. I mean, you can't even see a fraction of what it is. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea.
That's unbelievable. I saw a picture of a temple that you were in front of before that was white.
Oh yes, just up the road. Yeah.
Okay, but you didn't. You said, you know what? I like this one for this shot, not the white one. This one.
Well, I was on my way to the white one this morning, and I just drove past, and I thought, oh, you know what? The white ones are beautiful when you're here because you don't see them very often. They're very, very rare. But I figured people around the world would probably be more interested in seeing the colourful one, so I brought you here.
Gold, man.
I mean, this is a tiny little part. This is one of the biggest temples in the country. It's only just one section, but I didn't want to just go straight in the middle and sit there doing an interview, so I just give you a taster.
You know, it's crazy because over here in the United States, a lot of people are not educated enough to know how beautiful of a country that Thailand actually is. They see movies like The Hangover 2 and like Bangkok Dangerous, and they think that it's like a fucking crime-ridden, crazy drug fucking party town. But really, when I first realized how beautiful that country is when we watched Bare-Knuckle Kingdom, and they did it up on that mountaintop, and like the scenery there, the weather obviously was hot as hell, but just the whole outlook of that thing looked amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most amazing country. I've been around 35 different countries in my life, and Thailand just ticks every single box, and crime rate is so low here. I have my girlfriend and wife walking through the streets. Girlfriend and wife, my wife now, who was my girlfriend.
You just answered. I was going to have a follow-up question there. I was going to say, wait a second. Did you say you have both?
No, just the one. I only just managed to get one happy. So yeah, I'd have her walking through the streets of Bangkok and anywhere in Thailand. I mean, it's not crime-ridden. It's safe. It's just a beautiful place to be. Really
incredible, man. So you got this card, you got this BKFC Thailand 3. Now, when you kicked off BKFC Thailand, and Thailand 1 happened, then Thailand 2 happened, now Thailand 3 happens, and you got one of the biggest stars of all time headlining it. Man, the sky's the limit for your organization over there, right? I can't imagine nothing but up from here, right?
Right. Okay. So look, I've got to give credit to Mr. Feldman. I mean, look, none of this would be possible without him. I'm the type of guy that can get anything done as long as I've got the right support. You know, there's to achieve things like we're about to achieve, and what we already have is it takes more than just one person. So look, I've got the support and backing of Dave. I've got the most amazing business partner, Quinn. I mean, he's just incredible. And yeah, I've got a lot of people that are helping me. But when you say the sky's the limit, I don't believe that. There is no limits here. This is going up, 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 up. So just stay tuned.
You know what I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to ask you this question because we go all over the country with BKFC here in America. So we're in every city that they're in. And what Mike and I do is we go out and we do like grassroots marketing for them. So we hit up all the bars and the restaurants and gyms and shit, and we spread the word about this sport. And you would not believe how many people have no fucking clue that it even exists here in America. Like, they're all set in their own ways. Everyone knows what UFC is. Everyone knows who Jake Paul and boxing, but they have no clue that fucking BKFC exists, and it's been around for 5 years. I would imagine, and I ask you this, is BKFC known countrywide over there? Does everyone know what's going on with you guys over there as opposed to like the minimalists over here?
That's a really good question. Okay, so look, I believe that BKFC is just going to keep growing in the States, in Europe, and in Asia. It's just going to keep growing. Answer to your question, I think we've got more presence here now. We just run a huge press campaign. There's a cow. Oh, check this out, man.
I heard that. Oh, look, it's just a couple. Just chilling. You better watch out, man.
Thing stays over there, though. That's what I'm worried about.
You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Those things get in your way, you can't move. He's looking at me, and I'm not particularly comfortable, but we'll carry on. So, look.
Oh, my God. Wild cows.
Dude.
So, look, we're 71 million people in Thailand. There's 300 million in America. It's going to be easy to penetrate here for sure. It's new, it's exciting. Plus, Thai people can completely relate to it. So yeah, I think the campaign we run recently is blown us up right across the country. So yeah, I think we're penetrating here much faster.
And I could imagine that.
Time.
Look at that. This is definitely a first on our show for sure.
Yeah, they're getting their screen time.
Remember, you saw it here first, yeah.
That's crazy, man. All right. Are those just wild cows running around, or they escaped from a farm somewhere?
Oh, they're definitely not right in the head. I'll tell you that much. This thing's going crazy.
Yeah, they're going back and forth.
Right there in the comments. Mike and Mish, this is your first interview with cows in the background.
Oh,
yes, it is.
We're like children too. I'm just distracted by them completely.
We're completely off the boil.
Yeah, it's great, man. That's insane. No, and I would imagine that the two signings that we just talked about really are helping the popularity over there. But let's talk about this card a little bit, because honestly, we don't know too much about the fighters on your card. We are familiar with Steve Panda Banks. We are familiar with Bukau. But what about, like, we know Ty Emery, but to be honest with you, I know Ty Emery because she was a professional football player, and I knew her from that. And when I found out that she was fighting, I was kind of surprised about that. And I know that she trained out in Thailand for a while, so this doesn't surprise me. But honestly, besides Panda, her, and one half of your main event, we're pretty clueless to a lot of these guys. So if you could maybe run down the card a little bit and let people know why they should pay attention.
No problem. Okay, so obviously the main event. You've got Bukau fighting a 4-time European kickboxing champion. That's going to be quite a fight. The co-main is a guy called Pongpasan. He's had 300 plus fights here in Thailand. He's incredible, and he's fighting Sean Shirk, who's had multiple fights as well. They're both coming off wins on BKFC Thailand, so they're fighting for the featherweight title. That's exciting. Watch that one. The next fight after that, fight number 9, is a guy that's actually done a lot of time in prison here for quite a serious offence, and he fought his way out to an early release. So in Thailand, you can actually fight in the prison team, and if you do well, you get out early. I mean,
there's a documentary about that.
I'm all about that, mate. If I get into trouble here, I know I'm getting out early. So anyway, we've got him, and he's actually starred in the film A Prayer Before Dawn. He's fighting a guy called Dominic Ani from Phuket Top Team. He's from Canada, so that's quite a fight. He's had multiple MMA fights, so they're fighting at 90 kilos, so that's quite big for a Thai.
Nick, isn't there's a documentary on Netflix about that, right? Or there's a documentary somewhere about fighting your way out of prison in Thailand, and I couldn't believe that was an actual thing. That's fucking unbelievable.
That's true, yeah. This guy,
and you got one on your card. That's awesome.
Yeah, this guy's on. He's got tattoos all over his head, and he's a beast. Honestly, he's legit, this guy. So that's really exciting. We got a guy on the card who's actually done 10 years in prison for killing a policeman with one punch.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. One left hook killed a policeman. He done 10 years. So that's pretty crazy.
It's a bad hit right there, both ways.
Well, you could look at it bad. I mean, it was a good shot. I don't know. I mean, however you
You're right.
I'm sorry, but it's what it is. So that's pretty intense. I'm not going to say who that is, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Then obviously Ty Emery, she's all about this. I mean, she can't wait to get stuck in. She's been on me for a long time about wanting to fight. She's fighting a female Thai here that's had a lot of experience in Muay Barang Khan Chuek, which is the roped hands. So,
yeah,
like Thai's not had the experience of this girl, but she's got a very good training camp at Tiger Muay Thai. So that's very exciting too. We got a guy at the first fight. He's from the special forces in the Thai army. I found this guy in a raw underground street fight. It was like remember the old movie Clint Eastwood, Any Which Way But Loose?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, dude, this guy was fighting in an underground street scene like that, and I found him. I went, "Come here, you're signed." So he's the first fight. He's insane. This guy. They call him the Black Panther. But yeah, that's exciting. The whole card is stacked just full of shooting stars and multiple champions.
That's unbelievable. I would have never known like any of those facts about these fighters if it wasn't for you telling us right now. And that's the great thing about having people on this show to talk about all these fights, because I'll watch Thailand. I've watched both cards so far, and I'm going to watch this one. I mean, we're huge fans of the sport, but we're over here. We don't speak the language either. So like, there's hard to get a lot of information from Thailand when you're trying to look up the fights. So man, that's insane that you have all these people. And is there like an endless crop of people coming forward trying to fight over there?
Yeah, it's non-stop from all around the world. I mean, we are literally in a blessed country when it comes to fighting. The whole country just full of fighters, and they all just want to fight. So I'm quite fortunate, but it's an interesting point you make. We are actually looking at spending a lot more time and money on delivering the storylines for these fighters leading up to the fights. That cow's
I think you've got like 10
Holy
behind
shit,
you now.
there's a whole
Oh, there's one right behind you right now. Like he's grilling,
dude,
ice grilling.
Thailand, man.
Dude, there's like, I said 10. There might be 20. I don't know. I don't count right.
There's
I don't
a lot
count
of them.
that good, but
that one stopped to take a look.
I don't count too good, but I'm pretty sure there's about 4 or 5 behind you.
This is what I love about this country. It's just random.
That there was one behind
Holy
you,
smokes.
just like so close with his horns ready. He's just looking at you, and I was afraid maybe he'd take a shot.
Oh no, they won't. They won't hurt you. But I don't. The noise is on my tits, so I'm out here. I'm in the car.
Yeah,
That is too funny.
Darren says
I love it.
that it's a damn stampede. He says it's a stampede. That's right.
You better believe we're taking that clip out of that, putting that online tomorrow.
How you guys go?
Oh my god!
Oh man,
Can't script that.
How we live over here is great.
that's crazy. Hey, so the main event, Bukaw is fighting a guy named Erkan Verel from Turkey, right? He's a Turkish kickboxer. This dude has I didn't know anything, like most of the guys on your card, like they're all new to us. And then I look him up and I'm like, this fucking dude has like 130 fights and like, he's pretty goddamn good. He has like, and he's like 83 and 30, 88 and 33. Can you tell us a little bit about him and like how you see this fight going with, your huge new signing main eventing the first card for you guys over there?
Okay, so it's a tricky fight for Bukaw because he's coming from a K1 background more than a Muay Thai. So you probably know that the K1 guys have got better boxing than Muay Thais. Excuse me, sorry guys. So it's interesting. He's young. He's a bit shorter, but he's tough. He's powerful. Bare-Knuckle taking all Bukaw's best tools away from him. I think this is a very even fight. I'm quite excited to see which way it goes.
Wow, yeah, and like a lot of if you watch a lot of Bukaw's fucking highlights in his fights, if you go through his YouTube videos, like he's got hands, he definitely can box, but he's a lot with his elbows and his feet for sure. And I would imagine this guy's a lot more, skill with his hand, or he's more busy with his hands than Bukaw would have been. You know what I mean? And I'm wondering about Sanchi when he makes his debut for you guys, because he fucks around a lot in the ring. He likes to play. He likes to fuck around with it, taunt his opponents. A lot of feints. I wonder how he does, man.
Well, excuse me, sorry guys. I think Sanchai, I think he's a real prospect for a shot at the title because he's actually got a professional boxing record behind him on BoxRec. I think he's 5-0.
Yes,
he's got 2 knockouts as well. Yeah, Sanchai's boxing is way above Bukaw's. So interesting to see which way it goes. But I think Sanchai could do a lot better in this sport than Bukaw.
Wow. That's
by the way, he's headlining on December 3rd. That's an exclusive. I haven't announced that yet.
Oh,
yeah,
that is one day before my 41st birthday, my friend. Hell yeah. Wow. I'm going to have a party over here. I'm going to have a party over here, and we're going to watch him make his debut. Is it going to be Thailand 4? Is that going to be BKFC Thailand 4?
Yep, that's correct.
Outstanding.
That's
man.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I mean, I can't even believe. So like in the hierarchy of BKFC, to relate it to what we know over here, is David Feldman like Tony Soprano and you're like a capo regime, or are you an underboss? How does that work?
That's probably the best analogy I've heard. And yeah, I think that's exactly right. He's like, he's the big boss. I guess I'm a made guy over here in Thailand.
Yeah. Nobody can touch you. You're a made man.
No one can touch me. Not if Dave's looking over me. No, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to anyways. I've seen the way you knee people when you put them up against the cage. So I don't think anybody wants to even try that out.
No, I like to knee people in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a guy in the comments here, Big Ben, loyal listener and viewer of our show. I don't know what he even means by this because I don't know who Gary Grant is. Here's a great question. Since I know
who he is. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
How many hours did it take you to get your ring like hours through Gary Grant?
There you go. That's Gary Grant. That's a really funny story, actually. So, okay, we had our ring made here in Thailand by PK Boxing. In my opinion, they're the best in the world. Don't get me wrong, Gary Grant is the man. He smashed it over there. He led the way for the circle ring. But when I first approached Dave, he said, "You got to have a circle ring." I said, "Well, yeah, we wouldn't have it any other way." He said, "But you know, it took us 6 months to get this right. Are you sure you could do it?" I only had 6 weeks, and I'm like, "Yeah, of course I can do it. No problem. Like, we'll get it done. Don't worry." He kept on at me like, "Nick, seriously, if this goes wrong, everything falls over." And I'm like, "Don't worry, it's under control." So I pick up the phone to PK Boxing and I go, "Can we get this done in 6 weeks?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry. I'm like, "Well, you got to get it done now because I've told the big boss that we're going to have this done." Anyway, we did it. It was ready. Then he kept saying to me, "Nick, you're not going to get this built in 6 hours. You need longer. It takes us 9 still. And we've been doing this 6 months." I went, "Don't worry, it's fine." And I phoned him and said, "Guys, can you get this built in 6 hours?" Done it in 5.5. And it's beautiful. It's a work of art. So, yeah, I mean, the one in America is fantastic, but we're also very happy with the guys we got here. Fortunately for us, they're here in Thailand, so I can just bring them in, they build it, and then they go again. It's brilliant, but I think it's a beautiful ring.
That's awesome. To lay out a little fact here, Kyle, Gary Grant actually toured the Bare-Knuckle Hall of Fame in Belfast, New York with us.
With us? Oh,
yes.
Man.
He was there.
I don't remember that. I remember the tour. I didn't know he was with us. That's awesome.
Yep.
Absolutely
He's
amazing.
The man.
He
was very supportive of us. Yeah, he helped us a lot with the build. So we put him in touch with the guys here in Thailand. And between them, they come up with a fantastic structure. Really happy.
Man, so from now, we're going to let you go in a few minutes here. We don't want to take too much of your time. What's a day in the life of Nick Chapman like over there as the CEO of BKFC? Are you busy every day over there making it grow?
Yeah, non-stop. I mean, literally, I'm not even exaggerating. 20 hours a day minimum, sometimes more. I wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning, speak to Dave, start the day here in Thailand. I always allocate between 9 and 11 a.m. for gym because I call that sort of murder management. It stops me throttling people because I get angry very quickly. So with a high stress job I got to do my gym. So I hit my gym 2 hours a day. And then after that, it's just work. I mean, we're non-stop. There's so much happening over here with the BKFC thing. And as I say, the announcement that me and Dave are going to be releasing soon is nothing short of game changing. It's incredible.
I can't even begin to think of what could be bigger than what you guys pulled off with those 2 signings in under a week. I don't even know what it could possibly be. That's unbelievable to me. You have definitely laid out a reason for everybody to pay attention to this BKFC Thailand 3 card. September 3rd, everyone. If you don't have the app, get the app. September 3rd, you heard the cast of characters that Nick just ran us through. You got Bukau at the top. You got Ty Emery on there and Panda that we're all familiar with, but you also told us about some guys that we never would have known about. And December 3rd, day before my birthday, we got BKFC Thailand 4 coming up. Before we let you go, we like to mess around with our guests and play a little game every time. This is going to be a speed round. We like to ask you 5 quick questions, and you got to answer them off the top of your head. What do you say?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it with the boss over here. Here we go. Speed round with Nick Headhunter Chapman. Numero uno. If you found yourself in a situation where you needed to eat a human to survive, could you do it?
I'll do it. Yeah, 100%.
I knew he wasn't going to hesitate on this. We talk about these questions. We try to guess what you're going to say, and I just knew it. I was like, this is the type of guy that's survival only. You know what I'm saying?
Mike may have said this guy is a fucking go-getter. He might have already ate somebody.
I did say that.
Fun, man. Joking. I think I eat you fun.
I did say that. I did.
There you go. Number 2.
Other than attending a BKFC Thailand card, what is a must-see, must-do bucket list thing in Thailand?
You've got to go to Ratchadamnern Stadium and witness the pure Muay Thai. 100%. Ratchadamnern, the oldest boxing stadium in Thailand. We now partner with them. That place is off the charts. That's where our next event's taking place.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah. Number 3, and I'm assuming you guys know each other. Can you describe John Nutt using 3 words?
Eccentric, borderline crazy, and funny.
I was like, when me and him were talking about this question, I go, maybe he'll say like psychopath, evil genius, something like that.
No, I wouldn't go that far. No, he's a gentle giant. He's just funny, borderline crazy, but Yeah, I like him. He's the man.
Is he still over there fucking around doing things or what?
Yeah, he's still fucking around doing things. Yeah, John will never stop. He's on Phuket though, so I'm on the mainland, so it's a slightly different.
Okay.
Territory. Yeah.
Were you ever involved in any of the fight circuses over there?
Yeah, I helped him at the beginning. Yeah, done a lot of stuff with him. Just a bit. It was a lot of fun actually, just officiating some events and stuff. Yeah, helped him. I actually refereed the Bare-Knuckle Kingdom as well. That's when I first experienced BKFC. Yeah.
He said that earlier, and we were trying to think of it. We didn't have time to look it up because it was like maybe 20 minutes before the show. And he's like, I think that he was a ref, but I can't remember.
That's what I said. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was either a referee at like one of those fight circuses or something that we watched over there. He refereed, and it was Knuckle Kingdom. Okay, here we go. Number 4.
Yep.
If you could book your dream fight, who would be the competitors? And what kind of fight would it be?
Oh, it'd be Bare-Knuckle for sure. BKFC rules. Conor McGregor versus Kamaru Usman. I think they'd be UFC fighters. I'll take both the UFC. Actually, no. Conor McGregor versus Hunt. I know Hunt would have to come down a weight, and Conor would have to come up, but that's the fight I'd have. Because I'd like
Lorenzo Hunt.
Lorenzo Hunt. I'd like to see Conor get his ass handed to him, and I'm sure Lorenzo Hunt could do that.
Wow, that's a good answer. Holy shit. And last question for you, sir. What's been the biggest holy shit moment so far in your life?
Oh wow, not anything that I can tell you about, to be fair. What can I tell you about this holy shit moment?
The second biggest.
Okay, walking into Walking Street for the first time in my life in Pattaya. Now, you think Vegas is fun and crazy. Guys, until you've been to Pattaya, into Walking Street and experienced what that place is all about, that is the biggest holy shit moment I can tell you online.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Man.
We need to get our asses over there, man.
We're going to go.
Every time we talk to somebody over there, we're like, God damn it, we got to go.
You don't know what fun is until you've been to Walking Street. It is insane. I can't even put it into words. And anyone that's been here will tell you the same. You cannot possibly explain just how fun it is.
Wow, man. It's been
looking forward to going there.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're gonna get one of these days. The Mike and Mish show will make it to a BKFC Thailand event. I mark my words. That shit will happen, just not very soon. Maybe in like a year. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for running us through that card, pumping up the BKFC Thailand brand. Unbelievable work that you're doing over there. You've been a great guest. You want to take a minute to say some final words before we get you out of here?
Well, guys, thank you very much for having me. Obviously, we've got a lot of sponsors to thank: Singhar Corporation, BitCub, Richard Malpelli. He's got the biggest recruitment company in Thailand. He's just jumped on board as well. Bench Fitness. There's loads. Hope I haven't forgotten someone. Yeah, all of our sponsors, basically everyone that's getting on board. Thank you very much, and thank you guys for taking the time to speak to me today.
Hell yeah, man. You're the man, Nick. Thank you very much. We look forward to talking to you in the future, and we'll all be tuned in on September 3rd for sure.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Take it easy, mate.
Man, awesome. Dude, the fact that they have guys that fought their way out of prison on that Thailand card is fucking absolutely insane. Guys, make sure you're following all their social medias and shit, because BKFC Thailand is blowing the fuck up. And obviously, you saw the 2 signings that they pulled off. No other I know one championship was going after them and they couldn't do it. Yep. They got him, and now he's saying that him and David Feldman are going to announce something bigger than them.
Bigger. Like, what could that be? As he says that, I'm thinking,
there's 600.
My brain is just spinning.
Yeah, there's 600 wins between those 2 guys. Do you understand that? Like, that is fucking mind-boggling. But anyways, man, thank you so much to Nick Chapman, CEO of BKFC Thailand, for coming on, giving us some time, running us through that card. Awesome. Those cows running through was crazy. That's the first time for us.
Was the best.
The temple, awesome. We got our next guest in the waiting room right now. We're going to bring her right in. She's been waiting patiently. She is making her return to combat sports on August 27th when she steps in the ring at BKFC 28 against a familiar foe. She's fought her once in MMA, and she's going to fight her again without no gloves on this time. Her name is Jayme Atombomb Hinshaw. What's up, dog?
Hi, what's up?
Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Mike and Mish show.
Welcome. Thank you for giving us some of your time, and welcome to the BKFC. Let's start off right away. You've been out. Your last fight was in 2019. You're coming back, and you're gonna come back and unglove yourself, and you're gonna fight Cassie Robb. How did this? Was it 100% because BKFC was coming to Albuquerque? You got interested in this, or did they contact you and say, "Hey, we're going to your hometown. What's up?"
I just kind of put it out there, and then they contacted me. It was just like fate, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I guess I wanted to fight for them, and they wanted me to fight for them. So
Did it matter who the opponent was?
no, I
No?
just fight. It didn't matter if it was at 105 or 115.
That was what I was kind of going to ask you, because you're fighting Cassie Robb. You fought her before. I was wondering if you were like, if I'm going to fight BKFC, I want to run that back.
No, initially we were thinking of a different opponent. But that didn't happen, and then they came with her, and I was like, hell yeah, I want to get that win back. So
I would imagine that Cassie was excited to hear your name as well, because she's not a big girl, and she's been fighting up at 125 pounds against fucking monsters like Taylor Starling and who was her second fight against, Mike? I can't remember, but she's fought twice, and
she fought Win.
Andy Nguyen.
Yeah, Andy Nguyen, that's right. And
but she's a little smaller, so that kind of like they met. I think would they fight at 115?
115 or 110, something like that.
Yeah, but this is going to be at 105, right? This is going to be the first atomweight fight I think they've had. So that was interesting to us, because we've been to a bunch of their events. We've been covering them for a couple of years now. And when we saw the graphic up on their page, it said atomweight fight. And we were like, oh shit, nice. They're introducing another weight class. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't think that they had my weight class, but whenever the contract said 105, I was like, hell yeah, I didn't know that I was the first 105er. So that's all.
I wonder if they were like, she's the Atombomb. We can't make her fight in any other weight class other than atom weight. We'd just be fucking assholes if we did that. So guess what? We got a new weight class, everyone.
Yep. It's certainly what they thought.
Yeah, that might have been it. So, hey, in the comment section, Chevy Bridges, did he train? He said he trained with you, Chevy Bridges, or?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Chevy says, welcome to the BKFC. He says, what's up? So training right now. So you were a longtime MMA fighter. You had success there. You were a champion for King of the Cage. You get this phone call, you get interested in Bare-Knuckle. What has the training been like, preparing yourself for your first Bare-Knuckle fight? Because, you don't have to grapple, you don't have to do no jiu-jitsu, none of that shit, no wrestling, but you still do got to work on the clinch work. So what's it been like for you?
Yeah, well, I still kind of grapple and wrestle here and there. Like, I still got to do that. But I have been working a lot on my hands, my footwork, conditioning my hands, you know what I mean? Actually going in there with boxers and sparring. So, yeah, it's been a little bit different than my MMA training.
Did you sign multiple fights, or is it one fight to try to feel it out and then see where you go from there?
Yeah, it's just a one fight contract right now. Like I said, just to see how it goes, and we'll see from there.
Say you go in there, you love it, right? But I myself and Mike know that they don't have a large crop of girls that can make 105. Would you stick around and fight up at 115, or is that out of the question?
No, I would. Like I said before, whenever I got the offer, I didn't mind if it would be at 105 or 115. So, yeah.
And you're fighting in your hometown, right? You're gonna have an army of friends and family there to see you get in a fight with no gloves on for the first time.
Probably not the first time, but yes.
It's never the first time, right?
Yeah. Why? How many? Are you getting a lot of fist fights over there? What's going on?
It's Albuquerque, It's Albuquerque.
Yeah.
So if you know, you know.
Right. That's who were we talking to like a week ago, Mike, when I said Albuquerque's just like one big walking cauliflower ear, right? Like everybody fights in that fucking town.
Yeah.
No matter if you have training or not, It's just, I guess there's something in the water or the air or something.
I think it was Charissa Sagala who we were talking to because she's training out at Jackson Wink right now for her fight against Paige Van Sant in London.
That's right. That's who it was.
Yep. So have you run into her? Have you trained with any bare-knuckle fighters for this fight to try to like pick their minds or see what they do to condition their knuckles and things like that?
No. I just go in there and have my coaches, you know what I mean? Like just trust in them, and they've been working with me, and I think I've done a pretty good job. And
awesome. You know who's out there is Christine Faria. We talked to her last night on the show. Yep. She said she's been out there for about 3 weeks, and awesome. And she's acclimating herself and getting used to like elevation and whatnot. So, you know, maybe you could find the champ and go scrap with her. Just
pick her brain.
Yeah, be careful.
That would be awesome. Like I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Know that she's gonna end up with that W come August 27th, but
that's your pick.
Yes. I trained with Taylor before, like she actually used to go to the gym. So, and I know that her first couple of fights have been kind of feeder fights. Not to be a hater or anything, but you know what I mean? I think this is actually her first tough real fight, and you know, let's see what she's made of.
Yeah, there's no doubt that this is not just her first toughest, but it's the toughest, in my opinion, fight that she could take. You know, I mean, we all know Christine is a beast. She's a champion for a reason. She is definitely going to be a very hard person to beat.
Yeah, well, like you said, you look at her level of competition. Charissa Sagala and her were both debuting at the same time. They had no experience in the sport, and they put on a fight of the year performance between the two of them. They went all 5 rounds. It was a bloody war. But then Cassie Robb was significantly outsized and outgunned in that fight. And like nothing against Cassie, but she probably shouldn't have been fighting Taylor Starling in that fight. And then Hannah Guy is a jiu-jitsu girl. Like she's mainly a jits player and a fucking grappler, a submission fighter. And she went 5 rounds with Taylor, which surprised everybody. Like nobody thought that was going to happen. So I'm real interested to see how this fight goes on the 27th. Sure.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like it's going to be interesting, and I'll be right there with my popcorn and everything, you know, watching.
So have you been a huge fan of BKFC for a long time?
I actually have. Like I think it's more how would you say it? Natural, I guess, more or less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More realistic. I mean, like so when I first started covering this sport a year and a half ago, I went on to a regular sports show, like a show that covers baseball and whatever, but a big UFC event was coming up, and they wanted somebody from Combat Sports to come on and talk about this UFC event. So I went on there and I broke down the event for them. But then they were like, "You've been doing a lot of bare-knuckle," like, and I'm like, "Yeah." They had no fucking clue what it was even in existence.
Nope.
And they're like, why are you covering, like, what's the allure over there? And I said, here's the allure. You watch boxing. If you're not a boxer, you can't understand the sweet science of a fucking boxing match. If you watch UFC or Bellator or PFL or one of those, and they go to the floor, if you're not a Brazilian jiu-jitsu practitioner or a wrestler, it just looks like they're fucking humping each other on the floor, and you can't figure out the intricacies of what they're actually doing. But everybody knows how to ball up their fists and punch each other in the face with a bare hand. And it's very relatable to everybody. And that's why it's so exciting to watch. Like everybody's been in a fist fight. Everyone's been punched in the face. Hopefully everyone's been punched in the face. At least once in your life, you should get punched in the face. That's why it's so exciting, right?
Right, exactly. Like you said, it's just bare fist and people going at it and swinging, and you know what I mean? It's always gonna be entertainment. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get cut, someone's gonna get knocked out, someone's gonna get bloody, something's gonna end up happening.
Yeah, it does not matter if you're at the gas station, a football game, your kid's recital. If someone starts punching somebody in the face, everybody's watching.
right? Like, what the hell? And
That's right. Dead right, man. Now with you, you know, are you married? You married with you have kids, married with kids? Are you
yes, I'm married and I have a 15-year-old daughter.
Is your 15-year-old daughter gonna be at the arena watching you fight that night?
I'm not sure right now. We're still debating. She used to go to my fights sometimes whenever I would fight here, because a lot of times I fight elsewhere, you know what I mean? So whenever I do fight in town, she usually comes. But now that she's gotten older, she's been not more or less really liking the fight scene, I guess. She's like, it's kind of boring. I guess she's seen too much of it.
And she don't do anything. She don't train at all. She didn't want to follow in her mom's footsteps.
She used to, and then she just, you know what I mean, went to high school and everything and stopped. Just started doing, you know, the teenage stuff. I was hoping that she was gonna continue to train. I don't want her to fight. That's one thing I don't want her to fight. But I would want her to be able to train and still
protect herself, right?
Self.
Yeah, that's like my two kids are like two opposites. But my one kid loves martial arts and he trains, and the other one plays like stick and ball sports and he excels in those. But the one that does martial arts is the least fighter on the fucking planet. And he's the nicest, sweetest kid in the world, and like he would never want to hurt anybody. And like kids in the neighborhood will piss him off, and I'll be like, dude, just fuck. Like it got
roundhouse that kid, you know?
Right? Just kick him in his fucking head. That's what you do. You train. He's like, yeah, but I don't want to hurt him. I'm like, oh my god, he knows he can train. He knows he can defend himself, but he just wouldn't do it, man. He's not that kid. My younger one that plays all the freaking traditional sports will punch somebody in the face in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? And he doesn't train.
That's actually so funny, because when my daughter did train, because she trained when she was 5, like for so many years and stuff like that, but when she would train and someone would be bullying her, I'm all like, well, you know, you could stand up for yourself, like defend yourself. And she's like, I don't want to hurt them, like I know I can hurt them. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I totally can relate to that.
You know what, the first time I actually I live in a neighborhood where everyone gets, like, all the people that live around me, all our kids are all like similar in age, so everybody's kids like congregate in like one yard and they'll play football or whatever. And one day they're playing football at my neighbor across the street's house, and there's like 10 kids out there. They're playing like 5-on-5. They're playing tackle in the front yard. But this one kid from down the street is always way too rough, right? And I'm drinking a beer with my buddy Larry in the driveway. We're watching the game from across the street, and then all of a sudden, my son is on top of this kid, like ground and pounding him, and he's like hammering him. And then he gets up and he like kicks him in the ribs, and he's like, "I hate you!" And he comes walking across the street to me, and he's got tears in his eyes. And I was like, "Oh, dude, like." Hey, like we didn't stop you. Like, that's the funniest part about that whole story is like we watched it from across the street and like, should we go stop? Yeah, we're like, should we go stop this or fuck it? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, he probably deserves it and they'll figure it out. So he comes over and he's like teary eyed. He's like, he's like, I hate him. He's always being so blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, don't cry. All right. He had it coming. All right. You just did what you were supposed to do. If you're upset, don't worry about it. You guys will be friends tomorrow. Go in the house, clean yourself up and watch some TV or something. Just chill out. And like, he was really upset that he was on top of that kid. I'm like, man,
I didn't want to have to do that.
Yeah. He made me punch him.
Yeah, man. He's got a real fucking sweet soul, that kid. But he trained. So anyways, man, this fight, we haven't even talked about your fight. Cassie Robb. You fought Cassie Robb in the past, MMA. You did take an L in that fight. You want that one back. When you said the opponent didn't matter, but it had to be like, oh, okay, fuck yeah, all right. If that's who the opponent is, this makes it even better. I am absolutely going to sign that contract. Let's do this shit.
Yeah, it's is it here already? Like, let me sign that shit.
Talk to us about the first time you guys saw each other back in the day in MMA, and how excited you are, and like how do you see this fight going with you and her this time around?
I see it going completely different. The first time, I'm not gonna lie, it was her night. I didn't take my training seriously. I didn't take my opponent seriously, and I didn't take the game seriously. And that was on me. And I can't blame no one else but me. I was disrespectful to the game, you know what I mean? And I should have trained it hard, and I didn't. I just went in there, and she kept doing those damn flying arm bars. For some reason, she was training with Rose there for a second, and they were always doing those damn things. So she kept doing that, and I would pick her heavy ass up and just drop her. You know what I mean? I was picking her up all the way up to my chest and just slamming her down every time she would do that to me. And for like 2 freaking rounds, you know, after a while, that shit gets exhausting.
I bet. I get tired picking my kids up and shit.
Right. And I got into the cage and I was just exhausted. I was like, oh fuck, I don't have no more energy. And then went to the ground, and then I just covered up, and they stopped it. I was like, fuck. And you can see in the little highlight, I just started shaking my head because I was already pissed at myself. I was like, fuck me already, like fuck.
You went in the mirror afterwards, and you looked at yourself, and you're like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed, right?
Oh, I do both. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was her night. I'm not gonna take anything away from her, whatever. That was my fucking mistake. Not gonna make it again. And like I said, this time there's no jiu-jitsu and there's no damn flying arm bars. She has hands. Well, let's see if she does, if she can take these atom bombs.
The atom bombs. All right.
Nice.
Well,
I like it.
Man, we're really excited about this fight. Actually, when we talked to Andy Wynn, I think, or maybe I'm saying something. Maybe I talked to her like off the show and asked her when her next fight was, and I think she said she wanted to get on the Albuquerque card, and then mentioned you, but I don't know if she wanted to fight you. Are you guys familiar with each other, or?
Yes, we actually are friends. Well, kind of more or less, like.
Yeah, I think
acquaintances.
I don't know. Yeah, I've seen her before. We've actually fought it. My last fight was me and her were on the same card there in Japan and stuff like that. I ended up braiding her hair for that fight. But and we talk sometimes here and there on Instagram, but I'm not like the other girls that are like so buddy with everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like if it came down to fighting her, I wouldn't mind.
I have a off the cuff question about Andy Wynn. Do you like beef jerky?
Yes, but I do have the best jerky around here. Like, I'm not gonna cheat on my sponsor and stuff. Them like Jerky by Art over here in Albuquerque. They do even do online orders. So if you guys want, you guys could order that stuff. But they have so many flavors. Like, yes, I love it. I love the red chili one. I love the habanero. They have dog treats and just all.
So you probably knew where I was going to go with that because she's got that beef jerky. She sent us some. It was so damn good. So I was just wondering if you tried that shit because it's goddamn so good.
Yes, I haven't tried it. I know that her mom and stuff like that does that, but I haven't.
Her mama. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it's called Mama's Jerky. It's really good.
I think so.
No, I think that's what it was. I think I was asking her if she's going to be on the Albuquerque card, and she said no, but I think she said like, yeah, my friend Jayme is going to be on there. I was like, oh, okay. And then I started like looking into you, and I'm like, is she going to actually be on there? And then they announced it. So
yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool. Welcome to the BKFC. We can't wait to see you fight. We put your social medias at the bottom so everybody can follow you, and we want to do a speed round with you before we let you get out of here.
Before the speed round, Kyle and I were talking about a post of yours.
Post, yes.
And it had a picture of you with Nico Montano and a couple other girls, and it said like, remember the time we were supposed to do that commercial the Modelo commercial and it never aired? What's the story with that?
Okay, so it was when Nick Montano, she was gonna be fighting for the title with Shevchenko or what I can never say her name right.
Valentina
but
Shevchenko.
yeah, Valentina, and we ended up going up to the Elephant Butte and everything and shooting like this commercial from Modelo. I think I seen it once maybe come out, like aired, but yeah, never really kind of stuck and went around, you know. So but we didn't film the damn commercial.
Did they pull it because she never ended up fighting Valentina? Is that why she vacated the title?
Possibly. I really don't know
That's weird.
what the deal was with that. I just know it was fun.
Is it out on YouTube or something? Can we find it?
I might be actually. I never really looked.
Shit, now we got a project. We're gonna go scouring the YouTube and trying to find this lost Modelo commercial
with that like music in the back. Do they play it like 7,000 times in a row while you're filming it?
No, actually. The background, like I guess all that the music and stuff that's added in later. So
damn.
Yeah, Mike, you dumbass.
I was wondering if they play it so you know where you're at in the, you know what I'm saying, in the commercial, so you can kind of hear it.
They got boom boxes going, right?
Yeah, production and the way that freaking commercials and movies and all that stuff is made, it's so different, and it's crazy.
It's all lies. That's what it is.
It is. Well, I've been on a couple sets and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, this kind of would suck to be a movie star. It's like cool, you guys could have that. Like, I wouldn't want.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're not fighting, Jayme?
Honestly, I just because I have like a little farm over here. I live in the South Valley, so we're able to have like farm animals and stuff. So cool. I have ducks, chickens, rabbits. I have a goose. I have dogs. I have there's these stray cats that are kind of up front that they kind of stay up front.
There's a bunch of free cows in Thailand that you could have.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that, but
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Mike said I don't know if you saw our interview with Nick right before you, but a stampede of cows came through behind him while he was talking to us.
Just
and like
random.
One stopped like right over his shoulder and like looked into the camera.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Just fucking Thailand's got everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I just come outside and take care of the animals, and then I do gardening. I have a little garden, so I like being out there at to reset. Nice. Just nice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have pegged you for a farmer. I would have never guessed that. If they gave me 10 guesses, farming probably wouldn't have been one.
Well, I don't know, when you're having a shitty day, you come out here and you mess with the animals and they just put a smile on your face. So,
Makes sense.
So I don't know if you know this about Mike and myself. We're both in the Army and we're full-time for the National Guard in Connecticut. And we were just actually talking about work ethic and this and that and whatever. And we're older when it comes to Army. I'm 40, he's 39. So there's a bunch of young kids there and they suck at working, to be honest with you. And if you're all watching the show tonight, I don't give a fuck. You guys suck at working. Do better. Be better. You fucking idiots. Anyways, I grew up farming, to be honest with you. I didn't know. My wife was talking about summer camps with our kids. And I'm like, I don't know what a fucking summer camp is. I'd never been to a camp in my life. You know what summer camp was? When I was out of school, I got up in the morning and I went down to the farm and I worked on the farm all summer long. And I killed snakes. And if I wasn't working, I was fucking around at the farm. That was my life all the way up till I was in high school. And then I figured out what having fun was like. So farming's awesome. Shout out to you for that. I love that shit.
Yay, farming.
Yay, farming. Fucking farm and grow crops, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. It's a lost art. I'm telling you, it really is. People are going to lose out on a lot of different skills. And before we know it, this place is going to be crumbling because nobody's going to know what the hell to do. They're going to be like, don't machines do that? No,
You're
they
like,
don't.
how does that happen?
Yeah, people used to do that. You fucking guys. All right.
We call them stew nods. That's what we call them.
Nods. You stew nods. Yeah. We're going to do a speed round with you now. You waited patiently to come on, and we've had you for a half an hour now. So let's have Jayme Hinshaw, Atombomb herself, who's fighting August 27th against Cassie Robb. Get the app. Watch the fight. It's going to be a good one. Welcome her to the sport. Speed round with Atombomb. Here we go. Numero uno. What's the best way to start off your day?
Coffee.
Just any coffee? Just coffee?
Coffee and creamer, no sugar.
You
know, Mike drinks coffee all day and all night, and that's got to be.
And it's just coffee and creamer, no sugar. But sometimes I do have sweetened creamer, because I like different flavors. Because hey, why not?
I can do that.
But I like to put a little bit of this in it. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of whiskey.
Oh, you know what he just told me about last night? I don't know if you drink at all, Jayme, but we're soldiers, so we're functioning alcoholics.
All we can do.
Yeah, functioning alcoholics. Jameson, what was it, Mike?
Cold brew. Jameson cold brew. It's whiskey that is made with cold brew coffee, and it's like 30% alcohol. So sounds pretty good. I'm gonna have to try it out.
Ice. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try that shit.
I've actually never heard of it, so that's crazy.
I saw it the other day and I was like, I gotta get that because I've been drinking like hot coffee with whiskey in it for the last like probably 40 shows we've done. So I think I'm gonna go to the cold brew.
Oh man, Joe Ivy says pumpkin spice season is coming. Mike is happy.
I am a basic bitch. If you've never met, I am the basicest of bitches, if that's a real word.
Yeah. Around that time, it's crazy because I love tamales and pumpkin spice lattes. So I'm like,
you're in heaven.
I love fall. I just hate cold weather. That's all.
Do you ever feel like you drink too much coffee? Because sometimes I do. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna give myself a fucking heart attack one of these days if I don't knock it off.
That's too many double shot espressos and stuff.
Yeah.
No, drink it all throughout the day. Even at like going to bed, he'd be having a cup of coffee, probably like this guy.
Yeah. Always. I can go to sleep, right? Like as soon as this is over, I'm gonna go to sleep. No problem. I will fall asleep drinking coffee. Like I'll be taking a sip and being like this.
That's crazy. All the time.
Yeah, it's just the way I am.
That is crazy. All right, numero dos, number 2.
If you could get away with never doing something again for the rest of your life, what would that something be?
Running.
Dude, that's a great answer. I fucking hate running. He loves it. He just goes out.
I'm like Forrest Gump.
I've tried to teach myself. I'm all like, you gotta love this. Like, come on, keep on doing it. You're gonna love it. People are gonna say you're gonna get that natural high, and you just keep trying it. It never happened for me.
That high is never coming.
Mike says, you wouldn't believe this if I told you, but I can run like the wind blows.
Do you like listening to podcasts? Do you listen to podcasts at all?
Yes, I do. I'm kind of a little crime junkie. I listen to a lot of crime shows.
So you listen to Crime Junkie, the podcast?
Yes, I listen to Crime Junkie.
Yeah.
Anatomy of a Murder, Park Predators, Morbid.
What's the one that we always listen to? Because I ride on a rideshare van. We listen to that shit every day, to and from work, every single day. There's Sword and Scale. That's the one. Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that one's major crazy. Like it's a really good one, but some of the episodes get a little crazy. Some of them tame, but some of them are a little wild. But But I listen to that when I run, believe it or not. I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts, and I just get into a story and I just keep on going. And they're long, you can listen to like 3 hours of podcasts and just keep on going. I don't run for 3 hours, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Music, sometimes it just doesn't keep me focused on, like, I'm thinking about running instead of what I'm listening to. But if I'm listening to a podcast, I get sucked into the story. Next thing I know, I'm 4 miles out and I've got to run back. You know what I mean? So
you have to run in the 8.
So next time we talk to you, we're going to see if you picked up the habit of listening to podcasts while you run, and we're going to find out if you love running at that point. And if you don't love running, you get to smack Mike in his mouth.
Whenever the last couple of times it wasn't running, but I was doing my cardio, like on the elliptical and stuff like that, I was listening to the podcast. So I guess I did sometimes.
There you go. All right, here we go. Number 3. What's your all-time favorite movie?
The Little Mermaid and The Notebook. I know.
Oh my God. Holy smokes. That's the girliest answer I've ever heard in my life. This girl punches people in the face for a living, and her favorite movie is The Notebook.
And I cry every time I see it. Like, no matter what's going to happen and all that stuff. And I'm just like sitting there all, like, ugly crying. Oh, you know what I mean? So.
Which one? To both of them? Do you cry?
No, to The Notebook.
To The Notebook? I've never seen The Notebook.
Me
so
neither.
I didn't know that's a crier.
No.
No.
Oh my goodness!
I've never seen it.
I'm probably.
I know about it.
You know what? And it's there's a lot of movies that, like, a lot of people. I've watched a million movies. I'm a movie guy, but I've never saw like Titanic. I never saw. Yeah, there's certain movies that people are like, "There's no way." I'm like, I'm telling you, I never fucking seen it, and I've never watched Braveheart all the way through. And people don't believe that. Like, I'm like, I've never sat down and watched Braveheart from start to finish.
A long movie, so I could get that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're sitting there, you're like, fucking hey, man, like, this is too long. I gotta go.
I've seen the whole movie. I have seen the whole movie, but I've never actually watched it from the start to the finish. I didn't do it. Crazy. Number 4.
If you could master any talent in the world, what would it be?
Talent. Fuck, I don't know. More like perfection. I don't know if that's really a talent.
No, that's not a talent. You got to be perfect at something. What would you want to be perfect at?
I don't know. I would love to be great at gymnastics. I've always wanted to do that whenever I was a kid. So I guess
gymnastics. Mike, what was your answer for this?
I don't think I gave an answer for this.
I thought you said guitar.
Oh, guitar player. Yeah. Guitar player. Because I was like, what can I make the most money doing? So,
guitar player.
Guitar player. You could become
what about, like,
in a famous band, You could.
What about mastering stand-up comedy or like battle rapping?
Oh man, like I already get like, sometimes tongue-tied talking to people. I wouldn't be able to do that. Everyone always thinks they're like, oh yeah, I'm a funny person until you fucking get up there and you're like, boo, you suck. So
Howie says mastering the art of making money. Well, if that's a talent, then yes, that's everybody's answer then.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a talent, but yeah, that's cool. I definitely want to make money. That was the whole reason of becoming a guitar player.
All right, and the last question for you. If you got arrested, what crime would your friends and family think you committed?
Probably fighting.
Fighting in public? Disturbing the peace or whatever.
Yeah.
Breach of peace, assault, something like that.
Road rage.
That's assault, brother.
I asked my wife that question because when me and Mike get ready for these shows, we like come up with these questions off the top of our head. And I'm like, Amy, if you got arrested, what would your friends and family think you got arrested for? And she's like, oh, public intoxication for sure. I was like, oh, okay. That was quick. That was a real quick answer. She goes, I'm a lightweight. If I have one too many drinks, I'm, liable to throw up on somebody's hair. Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, it's been fun talking to you. We are totally looking forward to this fight with you and Cassie Robb, August 27th. Mike and I should be there in Albuquerque, so we'll do a live interview with you at the event if that's cool. And if we'd like to give you a minute to say a few things, if you want to make a prediction or deliver a message to your opponent, go ahead.
Yeah, if she wants to sit there and keep talking her mouth, she better be able to back that shit up. You know what I mean? Come the 27th, because I know I am. So I'm ready. Hope you're ready. Let's do this shit.
That's it. Well, has she been talking shit? I mean, like, I haven't been paying attention.
I've gotten some screenshots. People send me some shit, and it's like I honestly, I'm not gonna feed into her bullshit. She's talking shit, I guess, just on her story. So it's like, you're not woman enough to even say it to my face or post it, so it doesn't fucking matter. Whatever you're talking.
I sense a little bad blood going into this. I like it.
Yes, I love it. A little bad blood.
Where it really came from, she just started running her mouth, and I don't take kindly to people disrespecting me, you know what I mean? So the first opponent that ever disrespected me was Melissa Karajani's, and I beat her ass twice, and she learned not to do that shit no more.
She didn't learn the first time. You had to do it twice.
Yeah, we did a rematch, and that's how I won the title. I beat her ass with a broken arm. With that broken arm, I choked her ass out.
Holy shit. Awesome. That's crazy.
Well, you know what? Welcome to the BKFC. Welcome to, welcoming a new division to the BKFC. Thank you for coming on the show tonight, and we will see you down in Albuquerque.
All right. Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that's Jayme Hinshaw, Atombomb herself. August 27th, she is taking on Cassie, the Joker Robb, in Albuquerque, her hometown, BKFC 28. Get the app to watch that. Follow her social medias. She's been out of action since 2019, so she is coming back. She's fighting somebody that she's fought in the past, and I feel like there's a little animosity between the two of them right there.
Yeah, I sense it. I feel it. I can
I
can feel it. The animosity. Just I feel like when we were first talking to her, it was kind of like, well, we fought, I want to get it back, this and that. So she's looking forward. But towards the end, it was more like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck her up. Like I could sense that, like, she wants to just kind of go off on her.
Yeah.
I like it. That's what you need when you go into a fight. The more that builds up, the more people want to see that happen, man, I just love it. Hey, she's making history. She's making history being the first atomweight fighter fight in BKFC. I'm pretty sure this is the first one. I try to look back and see if there was
it might be the first and only one that they do, to be honest with you. There's not, like I said, there's not a big crop of 105-pound girls out there. So
right.
Who knows? But hey, guys, man, Nick Chapman came on here dropping gems for us. They signed those two massive names. September 3rd, BKFC Thailand 3. He told us that BKFC Thailand 4 will be December 3rd, and they got huge news coming up. Thank you so much to him for coming on. That's a massive guest to come on our show, and we really appreciate that. Jayme Hinshaw was great. Next Wednesday, we're only going to have a Wednesday show next week. I'm going to be out of town on Thursday. Mike's going to be out of town for work. So Wednesday only next week. We got 2 guests booked right now. We have one of the widely considered most legendary bare-knuckle fighters in the world, right? Gypsy bare-knuckle fighter James Quinn Mcdonough, the subject of the documentary Knuckle, will be on the show next week. Irish gypsy boxer, bare-knuckle boxer. You guys have to check out that documentary Knuckle. The Quinn McDonoughs, dude, what are the Nevins? There's 3 families these 3 families been fighting for decades over in Europe. They meet in cornfields, they meet in locations, warehouses, and they fucking fight. Bare knuckle,
beat the piss out of each other.
Beat the living shit out of each other. I'm telling you guys, that documentary was awesome. We are going to have James Quinn Mcdonough come on here 9 p.m. next Wednesday, and he lives in London. He's one of the most legendary bare knuckle fighters of all time, and he's going to break down that London card for us next week. Really excited to fucking see that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Gonna be awesome. Yeah. So if anybody knows who he is, you know how important this guest is next week. And if you don't know who he is, look him up, read about him, watch the documentary on him. James Quinn McDonough next week at 9 p.m. And he's not the only guest we're gonna have because we don't have a show on Thursday. Yeah. Our boy, the Loco one, Tony Loco Soto, is back in action. He's fighting August 27th in Albuquerque against Justin Morales. And Tony's going to come on
Joshua,
Joshua Morales, my bad.
Yep.
Tony's going to come on after James Quinn McDonough next week. So we got, an absolute legend in the sport and then a future legend, right? Coming on, same episode.
That's right.
You hear that, Tom?
Make sure you guys are tuned in next week. But for this week, I think we are done. What do you say, Kyle?
I say we're done. Back-to-back episodes. Great guests. I'm tired. We got to work in the morning. Peace.